A little Xavier Cugat there for you on Dave's Gone By. Playing that because, unfortunately, we don't have any recordings of Cugat to play with our next guest, but at least I was able to dig up some Cugat, and happy enough to dig up our next guest. She didn't have to be digging. She's 90 and alive. I'm sorry, that was that terribly.
You're never going to have guests.
No, she's still on the line. Thank you so much for not hanging up. We have with us.
I'm not teaching me French.
The director Lorca Peress, who is her grandmother. As she found out, has been this amazing star as a poet, a dancer, an actress. Her name is Anita Velez Mitchell, and I believe they are both still with us. Thank you, God.
We are here.
Oh, Lorca, hello, and Anita, are you there?
Yes.
I can't say it in Spanish, but bonjour.
Buenos dias. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Okay.
So, Lorca,
that was a very big mistake not taking Spanish. And I will tell everyone listening right now, Spanish is the language.
let me start also. I know you're in a play, and I want to get to that, but let's get to really the kind of old good stuff first here. You were on the Ed Sullivan Show. What was that like?
To Anita.
Anita,
right.
I'm sorry. Of course, yes.
Yes. I was there, and Ed is marvelous, and he asked me from Puerto Rico who are the great singers, and of course I didn't know because I've been here for so many years, but I've heard of them. So I said, Lucecita. I never knew who Lucecita was, but I had heard her sing, and he brought her down to New York City, and she became a star in New York.
Well, what were you doing on the... I mean, tell everybody...
Oh, I was a dancer at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a group of my own, 2 boys and 2 girls behind me, and we danced up a storm. We started with Sing, 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 and we did the first time that they ever did a mambo.
Wow.
And the mambo was written by Tito Puente. And we were doing the Hilton Hotel. A tour, and so I started in Puerto Rico, then I went to Santo Domingo, where I had to run away, and then I went to Cuba.
Why did you have to run away from Santo Domingo?
Well, what happened was that I had 2 very lovely young girls, and somebody hooked up with them, and they said, our show has been scheduled to stay for 2 more weeks because the seats are bought and whatnot. And I said, I can't. I said, I have to get opening in Cuba, of all places.
Really?
And so what happened was that I had to call my friend, who was a flyer, and he came with his plane and picked me up at 5 in the morning in the ocean because he had
the water plane thing?
Yeah, water plane.
Oh, cool.
In the ocean, and the musicians were great. They brought me all my things, and I was able to get away and get to Cuba.
You have to write a movie.
That was during the Trujillo
memoirs.
No, a screenplay.
Yeah.
Escape. Now, this was in Santo Domingo?
Well, what kind of government? Yeah.
No, but you could call it Escape
from
the...
That was the Jaragua Hotel.
It's Escape from the Santo Domingo Hilton.
It's one of the Hiltons, like. Okay.
Did you meet Nikki Hilton?
Or Paris?
You've been laughing a lot. What's so funny about being 90 years old? I want to know.
Oh, my God. I'll never make it.
That's a question that you should be answering for us. What is funny?
I'm saying you're laughing. You say 90 years old.
Because we're never going to make it.
Yeah, no.
I think we'll just end up killing each other by like 50.
Oh, you're afraid you won't make it.
We'll both be dead by 50. There's no question.
No, you've got to keep that nice, fun, sense of fun that you have at this very moment, and that's going to make you live forever.
Well, is that your secret?
Yeah. That always making a positive out of the negative.
Mm-hmm.
See? For example, when I first came here to live here, you're talking about high school and things like that. I lived at 110th Street, okay, on 5th Avenue, and my mother, who was one of those, old-fashioned ladies, she used to say, we do not live in El Barrio. We live in Central Park North. And we are not poor. we just don't have any money.
Well, I must tell you, your voice, I would never guess you're 90. I'd never, not in a million
And
years.
wait till you see her. She's gorgeous.
Oh, really? You have a photograph?
Well, I also have one really big question going back to the Ed Sullivan show. Did you meet Topo Gigio?
Who?
Topo Gigio.
The mouse guy.
I used to love him. See, I'm a little bit older, so I'm a little bit older than Dave. So Dave's not giving me he's giving me like a year and 3 months to live.
Oh my God! No, I'm sure that you're very young looking and handsome.
Okay.
I can see it's very beautiful.
I'm telling you, Anita, we're going to run away together.
To Cuba, yeah.
Anita's the Puerto Rican Joan Collins, if I could say so.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah, she's hot.
Yeah.
And you're not so bad yourself, Lorca. Now, Lorca, you are...
Lorca's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I must say that myself.
It's a love fest. Yes, I'm a director and an actor, and Anita and I worked, and I've been calling her Anita since I was 12, because when I turned 12, she said I was too tall to call her Grandma Ani.
True.
So my whole life I've called her Anita. But, yeah, she's fabulous, and I've loved working with her, so that's very exciting.
Well, do please remind people also, Lorca, what you do.
Well, actually, at the moment, I'm directing a new play called The Ballad of Eddie and Joe, and it's a contemporary Oedipus Rex adaptation. It's very exciting, takes place in sort of a working industrial city, and a young kid is given up by his mother, his teenage mother, and he lives in foster care, and he winds up back at the town, back at the big city when he's 20. And if you know the story of Oedipus Rex, along the way he meets his father by accident, things happen. He meets his mother by accident, things happen. And it's a very exciting, fun play. And Anita is playing Joe, as in Joe Casta, as an older woman.
Oh.
We have an older Eddie, older Joe, and then two young actors that play them 40 years ago.
And where is the play?
We're doing it at the Hudson Guild Theater. And it's which is at 441 West 26th Street, which is right off between 9th and 10th Avenue in Chelsea.
So for Long Island people, we could get off the railroad and kind of walk. It's just a little thing.
Right.
And the Hudson it's in a housing complex, right?
It's in a beautiful community center. They just had a huge multi-million-dollar renovation.
Yes.
It's a gorgeous theater.
A lot of shows started there, like Das started there.
Right, and actually the last show that they had was extended, so maybe we'll be so lucky.
It sounds. I've read about this somewhere, and I don't remember where, but it sounded great.
Well, when is your show running?
We run from September 8th. We actually open this upcoming Friday.
Cool.
From September 8th to the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you can get tickets. Should I tell you how to get tickets?
By all means.
Of course. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, you won't be on here.
Well, Anita would be here for me, and I'd, of course, call her.
Yeah, that's true.
Anita, I want your digits later.
Okay, so you can get tickets by contacting Smart Tix, which has a website.
Was that Smart Tix?
www.smart, SMARTTIX.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can call them at 212-868-4444, and they're only $18.
$18? That's how can you be a play?
How can you beat that, right? Brand new play, world premiere.
And what you're directing the play?
Anita Velez Mitchell, directed by me, Lorca Peress. Yes.
What drew you to the play, Lorca? Why this particular version of Oedipus?
It actually came to me in 2004. It was submitted to the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute. They have a one-act play contest. And I teach there, and I've done a lot of directing there, and they came to me, the administration, and said, I think we have a play for you. Take a look. I read it. I loved it. And so we did it as a workshop production.
But this is not the first time you've worked with your grandma.
No, we've done many things together.
Like?
We worked together for many years. We got awards together at La Mama. And everything.
She has directed me. I've directed her.
Like Grandmama.
We've acted together in shows. Yeah, we've done a lot of work together.
Well, as a director, she makes me very old, older than I am.
Okay, this is
shame
funny.
on you.
This is funny. There's Anita's playing several characters in the play, and one of the characters, I said, okay, she's an old lady, and she said, well, how old? I said, she's 85, and all of a sudden she hunched over, and she got this little old lady happening. She made her much older than she is herself. It was quite wonderful.
Well, let me ask you, Anita, how long were you dancing professionally? I mean, did you dance into your 50s and 60s, or did that have to stop?
No, I was dancing since I was a little kid.
Into your 50s.
Yeah, into my way over that, because I did West Side in '57.
That's right. I want to ask you one thing, Anita. Would you please say one thing
She
to
did
me?
play Anita, yeah.
I want to say, a boy like that who killed your brother.
A boy like that who killed your brother.
What do you do?
Get that boy and find another
Why?
one of your own kind.
Why?
For your own kind.
Where did you play Anita? Because it didn't say. Was it on Broadway or where?
Yeah, all over. And then I took it on the
And then
road.
they gave that Rita Moreno the part in the film. I don't know why.
Not fair. Yeah.
Chita and I auditioned together, but she was shorter than I, so she got the part first. Yeah,
Not,
Chita Rivera.
Oh, Chita.
Yeah,
Well,
she was shorter. Because,
why did she have to be shorter?
well, they already had a cast.
They had Natalie Wood, and Natalie Wood was
No,
exactly...
they had a
But that's
cast.
the movie. This
Oh,
is
she's
the
talking about
Wait,
Broadway.
who was the original?
They already had a cast because
Why
they were
can't I-
going to do it on 125th Street between the Jewish group,
It was East Side Story,
neighborhood,
yeah.
and the blacks in the back. And all of a sudden, the blacks said, "We don't want to be called niggers," and the Jews said, "We don't want to be called kikes," and they changed their mind, and they went over to the East Side and got the Puerto Ricans and the Italians.
Puerto Ricans don't accept anything.
So they already had a cast.
You sold out for the cash, huh?
And then I was
How
taught
exciting. Did you get to meet Leonard Bernstein?
Make it in your size. And when I came back from tour, I was with Marina Svetlova on tour. They said, hurry up, they're looking for you all over New York. And in 4 days, I had to do West Side Story.
Wow.
Did you get to meet Leonard Bernstein, Jeff Goodman asked?
Yeah, of course. He's come here to my house and
was he
played on the
an actor?
piano.
Wow.
My father, actually Anita's son-in-law.
Yeah.
My mother's
I was just going to
ex-husband.
say,
Maurice Peress is a music conductor, and he was actually one of the assistant conductors to Bernstein.
Well, what was Lenny like? I mean, any anecdotes?
Like
You
we
know,
know.
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy.
and I think that's
Very
maybe why
dramatic.
it's called Anita, because he used to say, well, my mother-in-law is Anita. And they were looking for names for the new, group.
Wow.
So it could have been.
You never know.
Well, let's also do some more name dropping. I mean, I was pretty excited that you worked with Xavier Cugat.
Oh, yeah.
In what capacity? How?
He was great.
No, were you a singer also, or did you dance?
Yes, of course.
Right,
I
so-
had to sing in West Side Story.
That's right. Hey.
Well, right,
I
of course.
had to sing. I was a natural. I sang since I was a little girl, and when I was tall for my age, so I went as an usherette into the movies, and I said that I was way older than I was. I was a little kid, and I learned everything from the movies. I learned to sing. I learned to dance. I learned how to, propose and everything else.
Wow.
And that was
She
my
would stand
schooling.
in the back and do all the routines.
Right, she would
Yeah,
mirror.
yeah.
She would like
Yeah,
That
mirror,
was my
yeah.
schooling.
And actually, she went. Oh, tell them the story about the. Oh, it's so funny how you got the job, the Mexican hayride.
Oh yeah,
Is that the Abbott and Costello film?
Well, I want to tell you what happened. In those days, there was something called the Good Neighbor Policy. And all the Latinos came into New York City. They brought all the dancers and the singers, Carmen Miranda, and they brought Cantinflas, and everybody was here. And actually, they were looking for Latinos that were, creative. And so I happened to be, I looked like Rita Hayworth when I was a kid.
Whoa.
Right.
Because I had blonde hair on the side like that. And they would pick me up in the street.
Well, she saw these kids standing on line, and she thought it was a bread line.
I thought it was
She
a
went
bread line. I
during
went
the
in.
Depression, and so she went and she stood on line, and they came down, some casting scouts, and they walked by and say, "Hey, you, come inside." And she went inside, and she wound up getting hired in a Broadway show. She was
And all
16
she
years
was
old.
hungry.
Well, the thing is that we're doing a Mexican Mexican dance,
Oh,
And
yeah.
since I have been looking at the movies, I knew the Mexican dance very well.
Right.
And so I got up and did it, and I was into my first Broadway show.
That's
How
fun.
cool is that?
Yeah.
That's
She was
amazing.
also in the circus. She was in Ringling Brothers Circus.
Yeah, well.
I got disillusioned by the circus.
Oh,
I went when I was older, and it kind of smelled bad, and just.
Well, it's fun though if you sit with your grandmother who was in it, who told you all the stories. Yeah, how they do this and how they do that.
Well, did you meet Carmen Miranda?
Yes, I met Carmen Miranda.
And was she wearing fruit at the time?
She was a little kooky, yeah, but she was okay.
She was what? Sorry?
Kooky.
Kooky. How was she kooky?
Kooky because, she always played outside of theater. She played her own part.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
She was just like that outside, like she was
brought up
the words and everything else. She was exactly that. Yeah, so it's, actors have to drop everything.
But she had to be a nice person then, because you had to love her.
You met, for example, José Ferrer. José Ferrer was
they were great friends.
Oh my God, he was such a good actor.
And was Toulouse-Lautrec, but when you saw him, he was a gentleman. Cantinflas was a gentleman, very serious.
Cantinflas was serious?
Yeah, very serious.
Huh.
Nobody would know that he was because he was an artist.
Right?
And
how did you work with him?
Well, it was a commercial for the Hilton Hotel.
Oh, okay.
And it was done at Las Brisas in Mexico.
Wow.
And I met all the actors in Mexico. He had his own plane, and he used to drive us around, fly us around from one place to another. It was a lot of fun at that time.
Anita, have you ever sat down and talked to, students about your life and stuff like that?
Yes, of course. I teach in class. I teach.
Where do you teach?
I teach poetry in public schools.
Oh, that's right. You're also a poet. I should have asked if you had a very short poem you could share with us.
Because you're absolutely fabulous.
You know
I must tell you.
I can't do that because
okay.
I'm
Anita, will you come back on the show and
I would love
another
to.
time?
I will recite beautiful poetry.
You can call in at 10:30 because we do an early show.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
And maybe we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I talked to you forever.
Yeah, isn't she great?
I love your story.
But we need Lorca to
I
remind.
love you too.
You have to come see the show so you can meet her.
Well,
please remind
written
everybody
down that we're going to see the Ballad of Eddie and Joe.
Please, again, Lorca, just remind everyone where Ballad of Eddie and Joe is playing and how people can get tickets.
The Ballad of Eddie and Joe is playing at the Hudson Guild Theater, 141 West 26th Street between 9th and 10th Avenues, and it runs from September 8th through the 24th, $18 tickets.
And I can divine the telephone number.
212-868-4444.
Is that 212-868-4444?
That's it.
That's it.
For the Ballad of Eddie and Joe.
Starring or featuring.
By David Sard, wonderful writer.
And you are directing, Lorca Peress directing, and your grandma, the
Yes.
wonderful Anita Velez Mitchell, will be playing
brilliant.
Joe Castle. Joe, excuse me, Joe.
Well, thank you so much.
I have one last question.
And at one of the performances, by the way, Dave and I will come and we're going out afterwards to talk.
Great, we love that.
David hates when I invite him. I announce these things on the air.
Yeah.
Because now he's roped into it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well, Anita and I are going to go on a date afterwards.
Well, look, but one quick last question for Anita. Now that you are 90 years old, how is your life different, or is it at all different from, say, what your life was when you were 70?
Well, I don't have a lover.
I'm here for you, Anita.
Advertising.
That's the difference.
Well,
Jeff is not married.
I had
strangely,
the most beautiful men in the world that were with me as lovers, as
She had
friends,
5 husbands.
husbands.
With 5, wait a minute.
And now I don't have a lover. I have lots of friends.
Well, Anita,
especially in theater, gay friends and all that.
Well,
but I don't have a lover.
Well, Anita, we were talking to my father's wife, actually, a while back, and it seems like she doesn't meet all his needs. So I could give my father a call.
How old he is. If he's over 70, I don't think she's interested.
Oh my God.
But he's still potent.
70 is fine. 75 is the cutoff.
Okay.
It's very good. It's great.
Anita, is there sex after 90, or could there be sex after 90? I mean, are you saying that you
after
would?
90? Well, there could be, but sex is such a beautiful thing. You want to save it when you have, when you're nude and gorgeous and
wasted on the young, isn't it?
I'm not ungorgeous, but I'm not.
You still got it
the way
going
I
on.
used to be.
Well, she had a boyfriend just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
but he died.
Him out too, huh?
I had a birthday last the 21st of February, and they gave me a day in the city, Anita Velez Day. In the city.
She's proclamation. We have the proclamation from the city.
Oh, from the mayor and everything.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Signed by the mayor.
And no, I have pictures with Bloomberg and all that sort of thing.
Well,
yeah, he's good looking. He's sort of nice.
Well, today is Dave's Gone By Day with Anita Velez Mitchell. Jeff is pointing because there's apparently a little bug in the studio, so he's freaking out.
It's not a bug, it's a roach. I never saw that in here.
Well, yeah, we bring food, we eat. It's like, I don't see it.
Anita, what was the last Broadway show you were in? I swear I've heard your name.
Well, she's done a lot of film and television.
Oh, yeah. I have done a lot of
What
things.
have you done
and
the
my
last
daughter, Jane Velez Mitchell, who is an anchor person on television.
Right, you might know of Jane. She's on the CNN a lot. She does Nancy Grace show a lot.
Oh, you didn't? Did you listen to my
previous
previous
over
thing?
Nancy Grace when Nancy
I'm
Grace
the last person without cable, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. And
but what was your last?
She did a documentary of me dancing through life, which won like 5 awards. You know.
And what was your last show on Broadway?
My last show on Broadway?
Mm-hmm.
Gee whiz. I was
not for a long time.
You weren't in the Wiz.
I have been on Broadway every year at the I can't remember that.
The Gypsy of the Year or no?
The Palace Theater. Every year I came to the Palace Theater.
Oh, did you know my grandmother? My grandmother was in Earl Carroll's Vanities.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful.
What was her name?
Her name was Miriam.
Vanities?
No, Earl Carroll's Vanities. It was.
Oh, the Vanities. The most beautiful women were there.
They were actually contemporary of the Ziegfeld Follies, but actually they were said to have been better. And
she must have been beautiful.
She was gorgeous.
Well, Anita was a soloist, though. She wasn't a chorus girl.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's the difference, right?
Right.
Yes.
No.
So she's
Another
the
thing
Kathy.
is now I belong to the 12th Night Club, which is mostly the Shakespearean women that have retired. And they're most of all my age, maybe more, but they don't say so, you know. But anyway.
That's because they don't look as good as you.
That's right.
Fantastic.
And everybody get to see how wonderful Anita Velez Mitchell looks by seeing her in the Ballad of Eddie and Joe at the Hudson Guild Theater.
And we're going to talk to you again soon.
Talk to you soon. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Un beso.
And we will, besos to you too. Wow.
Backstage and see us.
You got it.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
We'll
and
look for you.
We will be back right after this.